Hello. Today we will be looking at the subreddit r/PettyRevenge, and let's get into it. Kicked out of first class bus seats in Brazil. I'm American but lived in Brazil for 4 years. My husband is from Sao Paulo, but we lived in Rio. We had spent a long weekend in SP. I was heading back to Rio alone on the bus, since I had to get back to work. About a 6-hour trip on a big comfy coach bus with movies and stuff. Not bad at all. And he was going to spend a few more days with his family. As I was waiting to give my suitcase to the driver, to put in the luggage carriers under the bus, a woman, 40s or so, and her father, maybe 60s, blatantly cut in front of me to give their stuff first. I tried to politely step back around them, figuring maybe they didn't see me, but they made it obvious they did in the way that they stood broadly side by side to block me and avoided eye contact. Whatever, we had assigned seats, so go ahead, but I was mad at how rude they were. I had paid for a first class bus ticket, which is a smaller section in the front, where you get a seat that reclines all the way, a snack box, blanket, pillow, and personal movie screen. Then there's the regular section, where there's a shared movie screen and your regular coach bus seats, smaller, more cramped. The first class section was pretty empty. There were 12 seats or so, and only me and 2 older ladies who were very friendly. My screen didn't have any media in English, so I moved around and found a better seat. Halfway through the trip there's a stop to buy a snack and use the restroom, so I took my half-hour break to do that and walk around, and came back to the bus to find this lady and her dad in my new seat and the one next to it, reclined, and the dad cuddled under my blanket. So I went back to my crappy seat with no English movies, steaming about this. There are stories of people hopping on buses, sometimes to rob people, without tickets, so they count passengers, but don't check tickets often. I went to the back of the bus pretending to get some water, but saw the lady counting people and said quietly, "I'm sitting up front and there are 2 people there I didn't see before. That definitely weren't in those seats before the stop. I just want to make sure it's safe." She looked alarmed and asked all of the first class people for their tickets, including me, to not rat me out. She saw they had regular tickets and said, "Your seats are back there, you can't sit here." The lady said, "But these seats are empty. Back there it's crowded and cramped." Ticket lady, "Well, if you want to go to the booth outside and pay for the first class tickets you can, but the bus is leaving in a couple minutes, so you'll have to hurry." The bishy lady argued more, but ticket lady stood firm, saying, "These 3 paid more for their tickets. It's not fair for you to not pay and get the same seats." They stormed back to their section and I took my seat back and got a new blanket. My music's too loud for you? Try silence. My brother was a sexist, ableist jerk. He believed that there were 2 genders, men and the mere females who existed only to serve men. He also believed that mental illness was just an excuse for stupid people to get out of work, and that all psychiatrists were quacks. Since I'm both mentally ill and female, I was less than scum in his eyes, and he made sure to tell me this at every occasion. He hated it when I enjoyed something and decided that me listening to music with headphones on was unacceptable. I walked by him when he was pounding the piano, and when he noticed me wearing earphones he whined about how loud my music was. By this point I'd learned it was less of a headache to give in and avoid his tantrums, so I told him I'd go to another room. Our house was long and skinny, with the piano at the farthest east side. I walked out of the room, closed the door behind me, walked through the kitchen, closed the door behind me, walked down the stairs, closed the door behind me, and then pressed myself against the farthest west wall. My music was turned down so low I could barely hear it over his piano playing. The piano music stopped. I turned off my tunes and heard a door open. No, he is not seriously gonna. I heard him walk through the rooms, opening the doors, and then he confronted me. "Your music is too loud for me. You have to stop." I jumped up with murder in my eyes, and he fled. But that was the last straw. The next day, I waited until mom was making dinner. Side note, she listened to the news on the radio while making dinner. My brother hated that and told her on multiple occasions that she should remain silent while serving him. She was not a fan. I walked past my brother as he beat the piano and made a point of bobbing my head with my earphones on. When he saw me, he started whining about how loud my music was. I called mom into the room and asked him to repeat himself. Her music is too loud. It's really bothering me. Mom, make her stop. I looked him dead in the eye and said, do you swear on grandpa's grave that you can hear my music? He said he did. So I opened my Discman to show that it was empty. Please point to the CD that is making noise. He went pale and mom got furious. Were you lying? No, she had her music on. How? I said with a huge smile. Are you lying? You swore on grandpa's grave you could hear my music. He was floundering, so I decided to twist the knife deeper. Oh, wait. Were you hallucinating? That's a sign of mental illness. Maybe you should see a psychiatrist. He threw an absolute shit fit. I'm talking toddler style tantrum, on the floor kicking and screeching. Mom yanked him into the kitchen and screamed at him for almost an hour about how she was sick of his shit. My music sounded sweeter than ever after that. Little brother keeps drinking my juice. He gets his sour taste of revenge. So a little bit of background. I was 16, my brother was 13. And I love my lemonade, so I keep some in the fridge all the time. And all the time my little bro keeps drinking it. So one day I decided to take my revenge. I went online and found the most sour lemon extract I could find and made some lemonade without any sugar, of course. And I put a generous dose of the extract into the lemonade and tried just a bit of that bad boy, and let me tell you it was sour as all hell. So I put it in the fridge and waited. About 6 to 7 hours later, when my brother returned from school, he went straight for the refreshing godsend that is lemonade, only to be shocked with the sourness of it. He was running around for like 5 minutes drinking water and cussing me out for it. Needless to say, he did not take my lemonade without permission again. TLDR, lil bro drinks my lemonade, so he gets his sour surprise. Edit. Thank you all for your comments, they made my day much better. Edit 2. I probably should have said this in the background bit, this was like 4 years ago. Edit 3. My first post and I get 1k upvotes, gosh darn guys, thanks. Asswipes with no asswipes. I'm in the military, right? I share a barracks room with 2 other sailors, and there are 2 bathrooms. My roommates share the larger bathroom with a tub and a window. I have the small one with a tiny shower and the washing machine. My toilet paper has been disappearing very quickly, and today, I come home from my 4th day in a row of an 18-hour shift with a 30-minute commute. I'm tired and I have to take a shit. There was a roll of TP on the hook and a spare in the bag I bought it in when I left. Toilet paper is gone, and not only is it empty on the roll, the bag is empty on the floor. They didn't even throw either of them away. So I went to the bathroom they share, took the last roll of toilet paper, and put it in my locker. We live on base in an area where nothing is open past 9 PM. Oh, and even when they open, I'm the only one who has a car or even a license. It's 9:07 PM 21:07 local time, bitches. If they want TP now, they'll have to wait until tomorrow and either walk or take the bus to the store. Edit. Thanks for the silver. Getting a coworker to humiliate himself. The only thing Croatian about me is my last name. I don't speak Croatian. My old man was a 3rd generation American and didn't speak any either. We always had steak and fries like any normal red-blooded American. I'm half Spanish/French descended Mexican, and I speak Spanish fluently, having lived in Mexico City and Tijuana. As you can see, I'm far from being a Croatian. Anyhow, that day, I was working as a new marketing manager at an engineering firm in San Diego, working mostly on proposals. It consisted of coordinating between different engineers, ensuring compliance with RFPs, maintaining formatting consistency, and so forth. There were no standards in place, so I designed a few templates, programmed macros, and hotkey commands to expedite the formatting part. What usually took an hour now took a few minutes. I also bumped into another Croatian, who had just moved in from there, but he was a little disappointed I didn't know squat about Croatia. He became more condescending towards me. The Croatian informed me of an upcoming proposal and gave me 3 hours to do the formatting. I continued working on the previous project in the first hour, since his stuff would take less than 10 minutes. He came back to my office and looked at the computer screen to see that I wasn't working on his proposal. He threw a shit fit, screamed at me, told me I would be directly responsible if we lost money, and he had the audacity to email everybody in the office not to distract me because I was supposed to be working on his stuff. His stuff took only 10 minutes, and he was shocked. I didn't need an hour or two as he initially thought. The incident solidified my resolve to make his life a living hell. The Croatian came from what used to be Yugoslavia until a civil war erupted in 1991. Like the other Croatians, he lost everything in the war, but this guy managed to keep his charming personality and his 2 doctorate degrees from a university in Yugoslavia that were prominently displayed on his wall. Not only that, he took great offense to people calling him Mr. instead of Doctor. While handing over the 2 doctorate degrees to be scanned, he implored me to be extremely careful as obtaining copies were not possible from this university. He didn't know I had just gotten a color laser printer for my marketing stuff. It was expensive back then, and I was the first to get it. I scanned both doctorate degrees and printed both in the color laser printer. Both looked exactly like the originals that were safely on desk while I put the 2 copies between the wheels of my chair and the plush carpet, repeatedly scooched back and forth on my chair to create a noticeable crease, and went back to his office with the 2 creased copies. He wasn't in his office, so I left the copies on his chair. Not more than 5 minutes later, a very audible Croatian accented, "I'll kill him," came from the hallway. I swear he sounded like Count Dracula with his thick Slavic accent. Then came the angry pitter-patter of his feet rapidly marching towards my office. I placed the 2 originals on my desk right when he barged in, causing my door to bang on the wall. His eyes darted over to my desk where the 2 perfectly intact originals were. Innocently, I said, "I left the 2 copies of your degrees on your desk to see if you were satisfied with the quality before I put the image in the proposal." The commotion he created had my boss coming in 10 seconds later, screaming from the bottom of his lungs, "What the hell is going on?" I shrugged, "You'll have to ask him." Thank you for watching. Be sure to leave a comment and let me know which subreddit you will like to see a video about. And please subscribe.